We continue our talks about Jordanian brands and people behind Jordanian brands. I'm really happy to have Salma today in my studio. Salma will introduce herself and she will tell us the story of her brand, her business, and I'm sure it will be an interesting conversation. Hi, Salma.
Hello, how are you?
Fine. So, tell us a little bit, what is your brand name and what is your personal participation in this brand, your role there?
Sure. First of all, introducing myself, since it's actually known, I'm an 18-year-old girl. I have participated in the brand, but it's called Beit Al Ghar. Mm-hmm. The brand basically is about natural soaps that have came from Syria, all the way from Syria to Jordan. Mm-hmm. My participation in this business is actually very simple. I just do want to revive the idea of using natural soaps. Mm-hmm. Want to let people know more about the natural soaps and do realize that we do have many of soaps that are beneficial instead of going to cosmetics and chemical products.
Okay. Why soaps? Why not any other product? Is it important for you personally?
Sure.
Why?
Because people right now are underestimating this concept of using natural soaps, and I do want to protect this idea. For me, I do always believe that old is gold. And and what do I mean gold right now? I mean our soaps. Our soaps have been used by people for over centuries.
Okay.
So it's like a legacy that I do want to continue, and I do want to stay here.
Usually what we think of a younger generation, that the younger generation doesn't care much about anything connected with the legacy, unfortunately, or anything related to natural. Yeah. There is a belief in the society and older generation that young people, they just use whatever they are offered, that they are really under the influence of media and advertisement, and they don't think really deep, and they don't make choices according to what you are mentioning. And that's why it's a little bit surprising, when I first saw you participating in our events with this brand, I was like, how can this young lady be connected to an old tradition soaps? That was very interesting for me. Is there a kind of personal experience or personal story that brought you into the understanding that it's important to bring natural products or to preserve the legacy? How it came?
When I have first known about Beit Al Ghar, the soaps, and I have first tried them, personally, I do not use much soaps or skincare products, personally. So when I have used them, I have found them that they are amazing. Their scent is beautiful, the packaging, it looks great. I would be happy if someone have gifted me such soaps. Then I have seen girls around me, and of course on social media, people who are using skincare products. How do they sometimes complain from the products that they do use? And when I do just think about it, why do you people use such products? That they do have a possibility to hurt you, and they indeed have hurted you. They have harmed your skin and so on. So I've just connected my story to people's story. I can share the benefit that I have earned from my soaps with you.
Okay. Was there any person who helped you to understand that and who gave you the idea to focus on natural products, or it was just your...
Well, there was a person, my mother, actually. Since this business has started between me and my mother, as a small two pair of people who do want to grow a business. And this business felt heartwarming. She has encouraged me to know more about it and to try and to look more, to search around me.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Your skin looks perfect, really.
Thank
Every
you.
time when I see you, I always admire, you have such nice texture and beautiful skin.
Thank you so much.
So you know everything about natural products now and how to use them properly. You were digging deeper in this topic when you started working with the soaps. Did it motivate you to start understanding better the nature of natural products and how to use them? So you can give advice to people how to choose the soap, why this one, not that one.
Yes.
Yeah, so there is a difference. Different soaps are used for different purposes.
Well, soaps vary in their purposes. There are soaps that are used for daily basis to wash your face with and so on. There are soaps that help with skin diseases such as psoriasis, eczema, and like that. So not all soaps are the same. Digging and searching more about the soaps, the differences between the soaps, the differences between the oils that we have used. Every difference has its own purpose.
Okay.
Yeah, so learning more helped me to let people know.
And you
what
can
to
give
choose.
this advice when
Exactly.
someone is asking you, let's say, which soap should I choose? You can always.
I can always do advise them.
You can advise. This brand, it has a very long tradition. I know it's more than 100 years. Yeah,
Yes.
They have these lines for natural soaps, and they don't change their production.
No.
Yeah, so. Why do you think it's important for such an old brand to keep their production and approach to producing the same over the years? What it gives them and what is the reason for them?
I think that it gives, for the people who will use the soaps, it will give trust.
So they have certain recipes, let's say, and the way of producing soaps. And I know that they make them in Aleppo, right?
Yes.
So this is an old city which is known as the perfect place for making soaps.
Sure, since the atmosphere, since the oils there are pure, people actually do have the knowledge. The knowledge was born in Aleppo. So Aleppo, let's say, is the place where do you go for when we're talking about soaps.
It's very interesting to me also to discuss with you the question how the young generation comes to the idea of being in business, becoming of an entrepreneur. You're a business student, right? You're studying business in the university right now, yeah? So from the beginning, why you decided to study business? Was it because you started working with this brand and you wanted to learn more, or it was vice versa, you started with studying first?
I started with the business.
First you started working with Beit Al Adgar, and then you decided to take a proper university course in business to be more knowledgeable on how to run a business, right? You know, this is interesting. When I was getting my master's in business, I remember our professor in the beginning, she said, you know, to make your studies really personal and beneficial, you should take any course and attend any class, not just listening, but listening it in the concept of a certain business project. And she said, from the beginning, you have to decide what is your business project that you are having in your head. Just take any business idea if you don't have any now. And then whichever course you are taking, whichever lesson you are attending, put it all in one place, how it relates to your particular business. Because when you are accepting information in this perspective, it helps you really a lot when it becomes not too generic for you. So now what you are doing is really strong, because actually you are connecting all knowledge that you are getting to a real business project. Right? Very often when people get an idea that they want to create a business, they can go two ways. One way is they start making things. For example, you get an idea that you like natural soaps and you decide making soaps, and you become a producer. And then another way is actually finding a project which already exists and commit in developing this project. Why you selected this way, not making things on your own, but becoming someone who is bringing the old tradition and existing production as a business project for yourself.
Instead of me going
Instead
on
of
and
you
creating.
going and making them by yourself.
So I found a business that it is actually strong, that it actually has its own reputation, and it's a good business. And yes, I said, yeah, I could participate, I could cooperate and try to improve this business with the knowledge that I do have.
Okay, how it helped you when you started participating with this business and introducing it in the markets and pitching it in front of people? Did it give you any personal experience and improvement in your personality?
Of course. When we're talking about exposure with people, the exposure with people helped me to grow a much stronger personality, because people vary, and of course not everyone will accept the idea of natural soap that I'm going to talk about. So you will get rejected by time. Being rejected, yes, it hurts. However, it will grow something inside of you to accept, reject, and go on like nothing happened. It's a rejection at the end. To grow a mindset. How to break the ice with people. Because sometimes I don't actually just like sell people the soaps. I just have a friendly conversation with them.
So if you meet a girl of your age, let's say, or if you're talking to any of the friends who is telling you, okay, Salma, you are in business, me too, I want a business. Which way you would recommend me to go? Should I start producing something from scratch, or should I focus on a certain brand or product that I love and start helping them to develop and to grow? What is your suggestion?
It depends on the person themselves. Because if this girl that I'm going to advise has a hobby or has a talent in drawing or crafting and so on, yes, I would tell her, why not go and try and produce something that is fully of you. Like to put your identity in the product. However, if she doesn't have a talent, like me, so I would tell her, no, go on and join a business that you do like. However, since you don't have the talent, go and enjoy by learning, by trying to improve the business.
Yeah.
I don't have a talent, for example, in crafting and so on. However, I do know how to talk, how to sell, how to understand the market. I'm more into this field. So I have joined the other way that you were talking
So you
about.
enjoy different things,
Yes.
not crafting, but enjoying talking to people and introducing
Yes.
and developing certain
Exactly.
brand. Thank you, Salma. That was such an interesting conversation
Thank
and
you.
really a valuable insight for the younger generation who are planning the business. And it was really nice having you.
Thank you. It was my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Best of success in this business
Thank
growth.
you. For you too.
We'll
Thank you.
see you.